Mr. Sinatra?
You may call me Frank.
I call you Frank.
Not yet. I'll let you know when you can.
This cat is dead. Give me a new cat.
Cannonball.
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 Cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you do it.
Welcome to The Good, The Bad, and The Sequel. This is the movie podcast where we're talking sequels, and we do it in two parts. The first, an interview with an actor or someone involved that made the film worth watching. And the second, a discussion of the sequel, what they got right, what they got wrong, and how it could have been better. Hope you enjoyed last week's interview with actor, comedian, director, producer. He does it all. Sandy Hackett, son of legendary comedian Buddy Hackett. Had some amazing stories about his film short, My Buddy, about his dad, his Rat Pack show that he does all around the country, and his talented wife who sings. It's just a talented house they have. But no, Sandy was great. Love picking the brain to just know what it would be to grow up with your dad as Buddy Hackett. Like, there's so many comedians. I think Buddy, the way he was, it's like in the realm of like Rodney, because he has this voice and delivery and just so funny. And it was cool to talk about. He had a small role, and we talked a little bit about it, but he wanted to talk about other stuff more, about this week's sequel, Cannonball Run II. And before we talk about like Cannonball, like what that means is into a race, I got to introduce you to my partner in the sequel watching journey, Jamie Riccardi. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing awesome, Doug. How are you doing?
This is great. Doing it in studio when we have a guest who we'll introduce in a second. It's just good having that like face to face while we're doing it. And to talk about this movie, because I got to tell you, you've been excited about a bunch of movies. And I got to be honest with you, they fell flat, I think. I think Superman 2 was a comedy. At least this is a comedy. But what do you remember? Do you remember this as a kid?
I do remember this as a kid. I've seen both of them multiple times. I still love this movie. So this is, I'm negative on a lot of our reviews. To me, this definitely holds up as a worthy sequel. And again, a big part of it is because a lot of the people came back from the first movie. So I do like, you're saying you think this movie fell flat?
No. I was just asking because the other ones didn't do. No, the thing I love about this movie, I love the concept. And I don't know why they have it. I know it's like spoof movies. You can only do so many of them, but this works.
It works. Well, the problem is, egos. So to make a movie like this, like today, you would have to, and I believe they are doing a remake. But to do a movie like this, egos have to be put aside. Money has to be put aside because people demand too much money. So if they could do it knowing that, it'll gross a lot of money, you could probably do something with The Rock, Hart, throw in what's his face from the Guardians of the Galaxy, like even throwing
Chris Pratt,
yeah,
Vin
whatever.
Diesel? Would you put Vin Diesel in this?
Yeah, whatever. You could put in whoever. Yes, Vin Diesel. Again, as long as you take him away from the Fast and Furious, I'm okay with it.
Well, this could be Fast and the Furious 10 or 11, and it's
well, no. So now you just ruined the movie. So all
right. Before we talk about it too much, we got to introduce our guest. He's been a real trooper. He's only done. Two movies. That's it.
Well, two of sort of the same movie. I mean, he kind of graduated.
Munchie Strikes Back, and now a movie that has a connection to Munchie. Two connections. Artie Johnson's in this movie.
Yep.
And Dom DeLuise, and that is our guest, our Munchie expert, Nick Sperdone. Nick, how you doing, man?
Great, guys. It's good to be back. I was really hoping for another Munchie, but they didn't make any more. I can't believe they didn't make any more, but it was great doing this movie and seeing good old Dom again.
Be careful what you say, because if they make another Munchie, then that means we have to bring you back. So, I mean, you just graduated to like a massive celebrity-filled movie. That's a classic. So,
if I put that out in the universe, that will be one of the few regrets of my life.
But it wasn't for Munchie, we wouldn't get Jennifer Love Hewitt.
That is true.
That is true.
It's scary that that's true.
That is true.
But Artie Johnson, when I saw his name in the credits, because one thing that was crazy was you saw the credits of the main stars in this movie and you're like, wow, That's a lot. And then you had like a little bit about the writer, director, and stuff like that. And then they did more credits.
Yep.
And you saw those names in alphabetical order. It was like up to letter D. And I was like, holy shit.
It's really who's who during this time that was in this movie. And again, the first one, the same thing. They had a lot of the same characters came back. And then they replaced some, you know, instead of Farrah Fawcett, they have Barbara Bach. Instead of,
Joe Theismann?
They had,
instead of Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw, right.
Yeah.
So, you know, they had the same, like, you know, but so many stars. I mean, Frank Sinatra, probably one of the biggest stars back then. You know, not even just acting, singing, like, he's in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane how many people are in this movie.
They got a good day's worth of shooting out of Frank too. Like, you know, he just came in and was like, I'll just do my stuff and then get out of here.
Well, you know what? Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin were both in the first one.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they reached out during the Rat Pack, you know, and he said, listen, Frank, come on, just give us a little cameo in the next movie because they're big stars in this movie. And to me, I think Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. are almost the best part of the whole movie. I love them both.
So I have never seen any of these movies. So I know me and Doug were talking, and we were talking about doing a James Bond movie, and I was like, all right, cool. And then he's like, all right, we're going to do Cannonball Run II. And I'm doing my research, and I'm like, oh, cool. It's got people that are associated with James Bond movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. And Roger Moore was in the first one. So
was.
I was like, oh, wow, this is really cool.
Was he a spy in the first one?
No, but he played like a very similar character. He drove a nice car. He had a beautiful woman in the seat. Like he played like a James Bond type character. So I mean, no, if you have never seen the first one, see the first one. I think it's just as good. Very similar movie. Although I would say there's probably more racing in the first one. This one is not a lot of racing until the last end of the movie.
There's no racing in this movie.
no,
It's like they're obviously driving fast, but it's just driving fast. There's no time.
Nobody's on the road.
The desert.
When you see their cars, there's nobody on the road.
Yeah.
And you know, Burt Reynolds obviously is probably the main star of this movie, him and Dom DeLuise, and their choice of vehicles for a race are horrible. Because in the first movie, their choice of vehicle is an ambulance. Okay, that's what they drove because they dressed as ambulance people. So this time they did the general and the sergeant, and they're driving a Cadillac or whatever that is, a Lincoln or like I don't know.
Yeah, it was not something that I
not
think
a race
could even
car.
go to
Right.
140
Correct.
miles an hour.
So the choice of cars, not a great choice.
Right. There were some questionable vehicles in this movie.
Many.
I mean,
many.
when you see the Ferrari in the beginning, you're like, all right, this is going to set us up for some really cool cars. And then you see like the limo with I don't want to jump ahead, but yeah, like the limo with the monkey. And you're like, wait, how is that going to get to Connecticut? It doesn't even look like it can get out of state.
100%. And then the girls that you see in the movie, they're playing the same characters that were in the first movie, but different girls.
Yeah, I think we're ready for the cannonball.
Oh, yeah, I think so. How far is Redondo Beach?
150 miles? An hour flat. What are we waiting for?
Always had a fast car. Like those girls, they're a big part of the movie. So
can we be real right now and just talk about that? These girls, are they the worst drivers? Because are they breaking these cars, or do they just forget to get gas?
They are the only ones that have an actual fast car. I mean, maybe Sammy Davis Jr. Maybe they also, but yes, their car over everybody else's car is constantly breaking down.
Yeah.
Okay, but they are female drivers. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. You know, It's not a coincidence that they're the only car that's breaking down.
We just lost every female driver. Well, I guess all can drive. I just said it like there was like a system that, okay, some women can drive, some women you can't drive.
There's a lot of stereotypes in this movie.
But not as bad as I thought. I really thought it was going to be problematic.
There's still a handful. There's still definitely a handful.
Like starting from the very beginning, before the credit.
Falafel?
Yeah, falafel.
Yeah, I mean, well, the fact that you have Jamie Farr playing a sheik, you know,
and Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, right.
That's who the dad was.
Oh, you didn't know?
No. All right.
So
His
Ricardo
father, who
Montalban,
looks like he could be his brother.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, he birthed him. Like
That's fine.
he came from his loins. They look like,
and they're both
brothers.
playing sheiks, and they're non-chic. So yes, so that just shows you what kind of movie it is.
So is
buy
JJ like an evil Knievel like knockoff in the first one? Do they even talk about any of this?
You know what? I don't remember the first one as much as he's definitely a con man of sorts. I mean, that's why he's always dressed up. I don't know if he's a stunt man or He probably is, only because there's always a fight scene. He's always, trying to get the next quickest buck, and he definitely takes advantage of Dom DeLuise.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
But they have such a great rapport together. I mean, I'm sure a lot of their stuff was ad-libbed because they're awesome.
I was expecting like a planes, trains, and automobiles moment in this movie that Dom DeLuise was like offended. No.
Well, and Captain Chaos is in the first movie also, just to give you an idea. Yes.
Him is here. Him is here.
Well, I think you see a lot more of him in the first one. He drives, when they need him to drive fast, he jumps in there. So, he's definitely in the first one.
So let's talk about the whole opening scene. So when I mentioned the Evel Knievel part. When you see Dom DeLuise in this bomb, a human bomb that's going to get dropped onto, it's supposed to land on like a landing area and then be
a target,
a
net, and then haystacks. Yes.
So it's supposed to be normal, but he overhears a girl, right? A girl in the news? A newscaster?
No. A guy. Well, what happens is Dom DeLuise is supposed to do this because it's dangerous, and Burt Reynolds does not want to go in there.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it.
First of all, just let's talk about the bomb itself. There's no covering where the face is.
There's no padding inside of it. It's just sheet metal.
It's all metal. So it looks like the unsafest thing possible that you can go in.
You be bounced around like a.
But there's no face covering. I mean, you're gonna hit the ground. Your face is your head's gonna go through there.
Yeah.
I mean, So no, Dom DeLuise is supposed to be in there. He's afraid, but Burt Reynolds is like, listen, we're gonna get paid. Don't worry about it. He walks away. He hears a newscaster saying, "Wow, this is gonna be a great feat. This guy who's doing this is gonna have tons of women around him."
Yeah,
and that's all.
With autographs, and he'll be famous for the rest of his life.
So that's all. He's such a womanizer. Burt Reynolds. He's like, let me get in there. So
they said the women will love him.
Yeah,
and his eyes it
was first the autographs, and then he would be famous, and he's like excited about that. And then once he mentioned women, he's all excited. Yeah. But then he walks back, and that's the first scene of Captain Chaos comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was quick to get out of that. He knew it was dangerous. He was like, you want it, you got it.
Yeah.
Right.
So my question with Captain Chaos, though, because he does pop out a lot, where does he keep his cape and his mask? Because I don't think, because first of all, it'd be more wrinkled if it's shoved in his pocket.
That is true.
So,
And that'd have been funnier if it was all wrinkled and.
But yeah.
So then we get the wonderful Artie Johnson as the German pilot.
Well, they said
Deutschland.
He told him Burt Reynolds told Dom DeLuise, we have a German World War II pilot that's going to fly it, so don't worry, it's going to be very safe. But he literally is a German, and the plane did not seem like a safe plane to begin with.
Well, as we saw at the end of Munchie, he can fly planes.
Oh, he can fly planes, yeah.
But like you said in a previous episode, though, driving one type of plane is not like driving another type of plane.
He's a listener.
I am a fan as well as a...
That is true.
So, yeah, but he seemed like he was doing all right.
He was doing all right and then got very pissed off at Burt and did like an early, because I think he was supposed to get a little bit like lower to drop it, and he dropped him and he bounced through and...
Yeah, he missed the target. I mean, it's full metal. So, they were like, I'm assuming he was supposed to hit the target and land right in the net. He misses like yards away.
Yeah.
It bounces. That thing bounces a few times.
The civilian casualties were in the...
yeah, I was going to say that. How close were the people watching where this bomb went down?
It threw me back to the Fast and the Furious movie where they were dragging the tank through Brazil, or the bank vault through Brazil, and just ripping through buildings. And I was like, there's got to be like 40, 50 deaths at least.
You lost me on Fast and the Furious.
Well, in the Marvel movies, when you see like a building get destroyed,
right,
you're like,
right. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Many people died right now.
All right, I'm back.
Everybody's like, "Oh, Superman, we love you," and the building's like destroyed,
crumbling.
Like, 1,000 people just.
But
died.
literally, these people were watching where the bomb was 3 feet in front of them when it was bouncing around, and no concern of safety whatsoever.
Yeah. No, they don't care. And who would go to that? Would that be like something you take a date to? You're like, "Hey, I got these tickets for the show. Oh, what is it?" So this guy's gonna go into this bomb and he's gonna drop into a net. Because if it happens perfect, it's not cool.
Wait a second. Who would take a date? You mentioned that you brought a date to what was your first date? You said
Rambo.
Rambo, the most violent movie ever,
Balls of
Fury. So you know what? I would say bringing a date to a stunt stuntman's show is not that bad.
So you know what? If I would have taken those dates maybe to the right movie, I would never have met my wife and I would never have Emerson. So thankfully there was Rambo playing, and thankfully I forgot what was sold out for Balls of Fury. I feel like it was like Halloween.
Yeah, but you also don't know how traumatized you made this your date for now. Like, you don't know where she is right now. She could be in a psychiatric center right now because she's so traumatized by the violence that you brought her to that she probably
Just writing your name on the walls over and over and over and
so
over.
you know.
F Doug. Fuck.
I will.
She has a list that she's.
I will get my revenge.
She has like a crippling fear of ping pong balls. Great. So then from there, we get Dom really quick. So Dom, Captain Chaos tells Burt about the race, but I love when he goes, if we could make $1 million, if we do this about
10 times a day.
And then he goes, really 10? He's like, I don't know, maybe 9?
He goes, you think, well, first he rips up the paper for the race.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you ripping? He goes, we're going to do this 10 times a day. We don't, and that's,
So Cannonball, was that ever a thing, or is that just a movie trope that was started with like, that's a mad world? Was that ever a thing ever in this country? It'd be so cool.
What, the race you mean?
Like a real race.
I think someone started one after the movie, but I don't think it was a real race before that. I don't know.
Right.
So this,
But yeah, it's like a mad world, kind of thing.
And there's a couple people from it. Well,
It has
only
to be.
one, right? Sid Caesar. Was
There
the
could be
only one.
more.
Caesar.
I mean, they could be more because there's a lot of people here I don't know, so it definitely could be more.
Mickey Rooney was busy this week when this movie was filmed. He's in everything.
Okay, is he alive?
He was alive in 84.
Are you sure?
He was in the Muppet
he
movie.
was born in like 1910.
He was in the Muppet movie.
All right.
He was sitting on the bench during the opening number. Life's a Happy Song.
That was Mickey Rooney?
He was sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Was it John Denver?
John Denver's been dead since the 90s. He can't find his head.
Oh, each too soon.
if he would have had Artie Johnson flying that plane, he'd
Save
still be
Artie was
alive.
flying that plane.
Sorry.
Well, he looks like
Sorry,
John Denver.
Denver.
Artie looks
Sorry.
like John Denver a little bit.
Oh, Jesus.
So as an Italian,
I love it.
The rigatonis, the tortellinis, the fettuccinis, and even the raviolis are bigger than we are. Mwah.
you weren't offended by the next
No.
scene?
The raviolis.
I'll tell you why.
The rigatoni.
Because first of all the guys that were around the table were all from The Godfather.
Oh.
So you have Mo Green. If you know The
Yeah.
Godfather, Mo Green was there. You have Tessio, which Ava Goda. Like, they were in The Godfather. The guy with the mustache, I believe, is in The Godfather.
Yeah, Michael Gazzo.
Yes. So
He's
to
in
me,
the
it was
second
like
one.
a spoof on The Godfather with the people from The Godfather.
And I read that they actually wanted to get Marlon Brando. He turned it down, and he regretted it later on. He said he should have done the movie to show people he had a sense of humor
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
about the character that he played, the Dom.
Yeah.
But they got they had Dom DeLuise, so they didn't really
Yeah.
need.
So
Marlon Brando.
was he like the Don Dom?
Don.
Don?
So he was a Don Dom.
My son Don.
And then like 10 years after this, he did a spoof movie called The Godson.
Yes,
Yes.
and he did The Freshman with
Yes.
Matthew Broderick.
Oh, no.
Oh, Marlon Brando. Yeah.
Marlon
Oh, I think
Brando.
you're
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
Dom DeLuise.
Don
did.
DeLuise
Yeah.
plays the same character in
And-
The Godson.
And Robin Hood Men in Tights too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Wait, that's your impression of
was- That's our first guest impression.
That is true. That is the first guest impression.
This cat is dead.
Oh, dude. I love that. Get me a new cat.
I thought it was very fun. I
It's a
thought,
boy
you know
cat.
what, the spoof, because they're using the actual actors from the movie, made it better.
No.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
from The Godfather.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
awesome.
I know Ava Goda, obviously. I know Mo Green, obviously.
Yeah.
Mo Green is actually crazy in this.
Oh, yeah.
Alex Rocco is crazy. In
Oh,
that.
that's Abe Vigoda's buddy?
Yeah, right. That's Mo Green, who's, I think he was
He
on
gets
TV
shot in the-
shows.
he gets shot in the eye
Yep,
and
he gets
during
shot in
the
eye in-
end of the scene of
in Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big
While
scene.
he's getting a massage.
So, but the rigatonis, the fettuccinis, the linguinis, and even the raviolis.
Yeah, even the raviolis. Those raviolis. But now Nick alluded to it already. But when he has the cat and it's dead,
yeah.
he goes, give me a new cat. And then when they give him the new cat, he checks that it's a
Yeah.
male. And then he goes, is this a tabby? And then goes back into his whole thing.
And then he mentions his son, Don, his name Don, which makes him Don.
Yeah.
So Dom DeLuise is Dom Don, and his son is Don. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I wrote here, because I didn't notice his name in the credits, was the next scene. I wrote Charles Nelson Riley with exclamation points. Because growing up watching the match game on Game Show Network, you just saw him, his delivery, like those are obviously real glasses that he wears, but he has the same glasses.
He played himself almost. I mean, it was just I think he was great. I mean, his interaction with Telly Savalas is amazing. And he crushes it. I mean,
Telly's great, man.
He plays such a good bad guy. Like he really was.
So there's the first Bond connection because he was Blofeld in On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Yes, he was.
I was like, oh, there's a Bond thing going on here. And then when I see later on who else is in it, I was like, oh, yes. All right.
I think Roger Moore was supposed to reprise his role, but I think there was an issue either with the car he was driving, because it was a Bond car from the first movie, or something that he couldn't do it. He didn't want to do it, but then he regretted not doing it, kind of thing. So
there's a lot of regrets.
Same thing with, when you see who's in it later.
Oh, yeah.
Regrets, I've had a few.
Yeah.
Too few to mention.
Yeah.
But no. Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, the Bond connection. George Lazenby, if you're listening, I still want to interview you if you're listening. But no, so then we get the ladies. The ladies in this movie.
Well, you got them or Jackie Chan? Oh, you got the ladies first?
I think the ladies first, yeah.
Okay.
Why don't ladies wear jumpsuits more often? Those outfits, it's not practical. I guess it's like wearing a romper.
Well, some ladies should not wear them, and some should. Some guys should not wear Speedos, and some, are okay wearing Speedos.
And some ladies shouldn't drive, and then
some or all, or
Oh, jeez.
Well, at least in this movie, again, because the only car that breaks down multiple times are these ladies.
Are they breaking down, or is it no gas? Do they forget? Do they not know that part of it? Because they drive fast.
They're like, oh, that's what the E means on the.
Listen, one's blonde.
Oh.
So, and she's the driver, it seems. So, again, it's not a coincidence that they're the only ones that have the car, and multiple cars. So it's not even the same car breaking down. So it's like they can blame the car, like, all right, this car has issues. No, they borrow like at least 3 or 4 cars in this movie, and they all break down. Which the main car that they last in is a tow truck, which doesn't make sense.
A tow truck that oh my God. When he talks about why does a tow truck have that engine in it? Why does it have to be that fast?
The cars that are in this movie are ridiculous. Like, they're not race cars.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. They're always asking people, like, is it stock? Is it stock? And they're like, oh no, it's got a 250 Hemi in it. They're like, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
When you see the beginning of the movie of the people, like the background people that have, they're in the race, you see them souping up their cars, getting ready. You see it at the end of the movie. They all have race cars. How are they getting beat by tow trucks and Cadillacs?
Well, they couldn't fit him in the budget, so they had to cut him out of the movie. That's what was weird, because you saw all these other people. I'm like, oh, is that someone? Is that someone? Because we see them like working on their car, and like just the Cannonball. Why is that the name of the race?
Well, have you ever thought of a cannonball besides a cannonball? Like, I don't know, like, right? I mean,
well, Frank Sinatra, we can talk about it now. He mentions when he hears the line Cannonball, he's like, oh man, what are you, desperate? What, are you lonely?
Yeah.
So does Cannonball mean like fat girl or ugly girl?
Why does it have to be a girl?
Oh, he'd be a fat guy.
Miley Cyrus.
I wasn't thinking that.
Oh no, Wrecking Ball. I'm thinking Wrecking Ball.
I thought you called Miley Cyrus a Cannonball, and I almost kicked you out of the podcast.
Miley, I am sorry.
So you're saying
fan.
Cannonball is you think Frank Sinatra thinks Cannonball is,
or it's another thing for Punch the Clown?
I would say more Punching the Clown.
Yeah.
Punch the Clown. Yeah, I mean, listen, maybe a Cannonball starts off slow, shoots out fast, lands hard. I don't know. Describe a race.
I had to divorce my husband. I walked in and he was cannonballing to porn on the computer.
The fact that it ends in Connecticut, though, is like I thought that was the most random thing. I was like, oh, you could have done like New York or
anywhere.
I don't know,
New Jersey
or New Jersey. I mean, yeah, I would have thought like Manhattan would have been a cool like ending scene.
It would have been cool.
Like Connecticut, like let's go.
You ever drive with traffic in Manhattan?
Oh, but that could have been funny. Yeah, they get out and they have to run. Driving we're giving away the new movie.
All right.
No, the first movie that happens, they run to the finish line. If I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, I think the ladies win the first movie because Captain Chaos was in the lead, and there was I think someone's cat fell in the water, and he jumps off the bridge, and the ladies pass him. So
wait, so he loses $1 million for a cat?
Captain Chaos is all about safety.
Was that the dead cat with Dom DeLuise at
Maybe.
the,
Oh,
at the
maybe they
meeting?
used the same one.
He brought him back.
So you think the Dom DeLuise part in The Godfather is another alter ego of Dom
Captain
DeLuise?
Chaos.
You never seen it
Yeah.
together. You've never seen Captain Chaos and Dom DeLuise together as The Godfather.
I never saw them in the same room.
Nope. Just saying, it's a coincidence.
So then the next group we see is Jackie Chan and our Bond expert. Who do we see?
Richard Kiel, and he was Jaws in Moonraker and The Spy Who Loved Me.
And the doctor, who was also in the first movie. Right? No, Doctor's with the sheep.
The one with the eyebrows?
Yeah, no.
Oh my God.
I'm
Those
sorry.
dead caterpillars on
Doctor
her head.
with the
on his
sheep.
head?
He's also in the first movie, by the way.
Is he really?
Yep.
The one who's trying to jab everyone with like
And
the
his
needle?
last name is Van Helsing.
Oh my God.
In real life or in the movie?
No, in the movie. He's Dr. something
Van
Van Helsing.
Helsing.
Oh yeah, he's in the first movie, and he's just as drunk and everything else. But yes, we see Jackie Chan and Jaws.
Jaws. To see him was so cool.
So they have this the Japanese have this super, I guess, souped up car. But that plane that takes it was a small, crappy, looked like they rented the plane. Like, it was a horrible plane for them to be taking this. Like, you'd think they would also have the nice plane, like super plane. It was nothing.
The car was very James Bond, though. Like, it had a lot of gadgets. It had, radar. It had Pac-Man, which we'll see later on.
I'm trying to think, because I don't remember the first. I mean, I know Jackie Chan was in the first one. I don't know if he had a souped-up car, because I think Roger Moore had the souped-up car.
Of course, because
So I think, they might have just switched it a little bit.
But yeah, to see Richard Kiel, he's fantastic in the movie. I love.
How does he fit in that car? Because that was a small car.
Yeah, that's really.
But it was small enough, yet Jackie Chan had enough room to play video games.
I was going to say Jackie looked cramped back
and
there,
he was able to drive it. So yeah, maybe the inside was a lot bigger than it looked.
And it's funny, like after interviewing Jack O'Halloran and covering like Superman 2 and watching a bunch of his filmography, you can see why they were like they competed for the same roles.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like they looked the same. It's pretty mind blowing.
He is he's got to be bigger. He's got to be taller.
Who is?
Jaws?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. They're both pretty big dudes.
You think the camera kind of like makes it look like he's bigger than he is?
Like that's 4
like
inches?
Dutch angles or whatever. Is that what
Because
is that what it's called?
Happy Gilmore, he towers over everybody.
Oh, Happy Gilmore.
So I don't know, but he's also like, I think he's taller because even when he talks, he has that like big man syndrome vocals.
Yeah.
Where Patrick sounds the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And how about the fact that this car is able to float up in the air? Because when the cops are chasing him, he goes, make this car disappear.
Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming it wasn't that high. You don't think the cops turning the corner are going to be able to see a floating car?
See, when he said disappear, I was thinking like the world is not. Oh, was it the world is not enough?
Invisible car?
James Bond, yeah, with the Aston Martin Vanquish, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna see it just drops down from the sky, like,
and no balloons or anything. I thought maybe it might have floated up. No, it's just floating up in the air.
Oh, and then there's another thing that the car does later. We'll talk about like more in depth, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, if it could go up in the air, why wouldn't they do can it drive up in the air?
It just fly. Doc Brown it all the way to
So
Connecticut.
then why wouldn't you use it all the way and miss all the traffic and turn, just go straight to the finish line?
There we go.
Or just how do you win? You fit. Oh well, you said the last movie they ran to it.
You have to punch in and punch out,
right?
Like a time card.
There's a finish line at the end. So yeah.
So
which
then
we have questions on who won because we have to talk about it later on.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we get the Dunes Hotel. Sammy Davis Jr. is going in to see Dean Martin, which is so cool. Like seeing those two legends.
I think Dean Martin is playing himself in this movie.
Oh, he's hammered in this movie.
Okay, he's got to be in his 60s. I would say. Okay.
Yeah,
because he looks old. The woman in that bed with him has to be in her 20s. Like she's young.
Okay. So this whole
could have
scene,
been his granddaughter.
Yeah. So we'll talk about this whole scene, but before, when Sammy finds another way to get to him, when he just knocks on the door, I thought it was pretty cool, like as an homage, because again, most people should know their music, but I think that's a different era. So even somebody that's like when you saw it, you might not, if you didn't have parents that listened to that music, it was cool hearing Dean sing his song and then Candyman.
Yeah,
that was cool, man.
The Candyman can.
Everybody loves somebody sometime.
So when you originally told me about the movie and I looked at the actors and I was like, I love Sammy Davis Jr. I love the Rat Pack. Shirley McLean is part of the Rat Pack too, which, we'll talk about her later on. Like, yeah, she's part of it.
So you watch their movies, like the Rat Pack?
Oh, yeah, like Ocean's 11 and all those.
She's in all those movies?
She's She was connected with the Rat Pack,
she's also
with like
old in
Peter
this movie.
Lawford,
I mean,
and
She looks great.
young. She looks
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
but
she's-
she's definitely got
she
to
looks
be
great in the movie.
Yeah, she's older than Burt Reynolds in this movie.
How old's Mary Lou Henner in this movie?
She looks
she
younger.
looks like probably like
I would say. Oh, you no
20s.
No way.
No.
I was gonna say maybe 40s, like mid 30s, maybe.
Well, Taxi was just off the air for a few
Right.
years.
Yeah, so she's got to be. I would say maybe mid to late 30s, early 40s.
She looks
has
great.
the-
she looks fantastic.
Yeah, and
They both look fantastic.
I would say Burt Reynolds probably in his 40s at this point. But Mclean was probably in her 50s. Like she's definitely older than him.
Yeah, so when you told me about like, and I saw like Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, and I was like, oh man, I love these guys. I play their music at my house all the time. And then to hear Dino come out with "Everybody
They were
loves
great
somebody
in the first
sometime."
movie. They were great in the first movie.
That
Like,
brought a
they're
smile
such
to my
a. They're
face.
such a like. They're like they're almost the villains to the Burt Reynolds and.
Well, maybe Burt Reynolds is the villain. He's mean to his Dom DeLuise, so we're rooting for the bad guy. Because what are they doing that's bad? They owe money in this movie.
They owe money in this movie. I think they do a lot of sneaky things in their first movie. Also,
Okay.
To me, they were the funniest part. Like, I mean, I love Sam. Like I said,
Yeah.
Sam and David Jr. to me is hysterical. They're such wise guys. And Dean Martin is drunk the whole movie and playing himself. This is what he was in real life. You know, no, it's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, you see them; they're dressed as priests, and you're like,
Well, in the first movie, they were
priests in the first
they
movie.
were priests in the
were
first
they?
movie. Not
Yeah,
this
Oh, they
movie.
brought it
that's
back?
what he says.
Right,
No,
right.
there were cops in this movie.
Right.
Yeah,
But he
they were
said,
cops.
"Oh, nuns, this isn't going to
Right.
work."
So that's how it was. So Burt Reynolds was an ambulance driver wearing those clothes, and they were priests. In the first
Okay.
movie. That's why he goes to the women. He goes, "We tried this in the first movie, or the
Oh,
first
really?
time, it didn't work."
And I love that Sammy, just to talk to Dean, he like goes around, he's outside the window, 18 stories up, and the girl is, I don't know.
Well, first of all, Dean Martin's first line when he brings the two drinks over to the girl, he goes, "When I make a dry martini, I make a dry martini, and there's nothing in it."
Empty-
He just
empty
wants to get
martini
the business.
glasses.
He's not wasting time. He's 60-something years old. He's got a 20-year-old hot girl in his bed. He's not wasting any time.
I mean, I wouldn't. waste
Was
any
he
time.
married ever? Was he pulling ass at that age?
I'm
sure he's
he's
pulling
married.
ass.
Dean Martin was known for a woman like he. I'm sure.
All those guys were married like 5 or 6 times.
sure.
Like that was just normal back in those days.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sammy outside holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
And he mentions $1 million. So then,
Well, no. First, he smacks his hand.
One hand.
Okay, so first of all, he tries to kill him. So basically,
Right.
he tries to murder him.
Right.
You know, because he smacks his hand, and the girl is like keeps going. I don't know what's it called, Dean or whatever. She goes, "Come on, I'm waiting."
oh, Blake,
and she keeps
Blake and Fenderbaum.
Right, right. So he keeps turning his head, looking at her, looking at Sammy, and decides to, you know what? I'd rather go to the girl and kill my best friend.
Right.
Basically, what it was.
Read this, will you? Just read that. That's from the Sheik. They're going to start the Cannonball again, and the Sheik's putting up $1 million to the winner. And you know the winner will be $1 million.
Easy, take it easy now. No, don't come out. I'll come in.
Blake.
And then turns out he took the quote unquote elevator, which is the
That was pretty funny
The
too.
window
because
washers.
Where'd you get a window washer thing? 'Cause I thought it was the
Oh,
elevator.
the elevator. Oh man, the ADR in this movie too is fantastic.
Oh, there's
Some of them are just like, wait, they're not even opening their mouths.
Yeah. Oh my god! But no, just that whole scene. Just I love that hitting the both hands, him like fall,
Yep.
like you
And
think
making it
it's-
sound like it's falling.
Yeah. You're the tallest
their
short guy I've
rapport
ever
together-
seen.
Their rapport together is incredible. Like I said,
fantastic.
you got to see the first one. Like
Yeah.
it's like I would. First one is probably better than the second one. I just like the second one because of the Godfather bringing those people in there. But they're both great.
As soon as we get done from this podcast, it's $9.99 on Amazon. I will be buying this Blu-ray.
No, it's good.
So then the second problematic after the falafel, Jackie Chan orders a drink, and the guy looks at him and says, "Hey, does anybody speak Oriental?"
Oriental.
That
Yeah.
was pretty unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well,
not for this time.
Yeah,
though, you know?
no.
But what are the chances at this point everyone is at the same exact bar? It's not like that was a meeting place for the contest.
Don't forget, they already ran a race pretty much right before this one because the Sheik didn't win. So it probably is a meeting place. It's probably like it's not the first time they've raced before. So you know what I'm saying? Like they raced in the first movie, and this movie takes place right after the first one. Like there's no like time frame. I think.
Where is this? Any guess? Is this California or
LA or Vegas?
where it starts?
Well, it's not Connecticut.
well, they stop in Vegas because Vegas is where Charles Nelson
Dunes,
Riley is.
The Dunes.
So Yeah, I would say California. It's probably California. Yeah.
And then
they all know each other. I mean, the girls, Burt Reynolds flirts with the girls right away.
He wants them bad. He talks about wanting to fall in love with them.
Well, first he's talking to Dom DeLuise like, I want a girl for myself. And then Dom DeLuise like, well, I want one too. He goes, you want one? Like, you're surprised that Dom DeLuise wanted one too.
The girls are very attractive. I mean, not to go back to all the way at the beginning, but the cops in the beginning are like, oh man, there's 2 hot chicks in that car. Let's nail them.
They keep saying the same thing.
2 hot chicks, 2 hot chicks.
Oh, and then they crash.
Yeah.
And then I love that the guy who's like the younger cop is writing an accident report within seconds.
But sorry, not to divert.
Listen, you want to bring up hot girls, you can bring it up anytime.
Yeah, we can do that. But so then we find out Dean and Sammy owe Don $30K, which isn't that much money.
Back then, no.
No, I know, but
yeah.
The race is for $1 million. So for them not to owe 30, they're going to give them 970.
Well, you know what? It isn't a lot because later on we find out that they owe Telly Savalas $9 million.
Right.
So 30,000 really isn't much.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, Charles Nelson Riley owes $9 million.
Right. They owe to Charles Nelson Riley.
Right. And then Charles Nelson Riley owes Terry Savalas.
Right. Hold it separate.
The money. Yeah.
Right.
That's what
everyone's owing somebody something in this movie.
Tony Danza.
Oh man.
And the monkey. Who's the boss?
I love the monkey.
The monkey's the boss.
I love going ape. I've seen the movie so many times. I don't know what came out first, but that is without a doubt Poppy from Going Ape.
Going Ape is Clint Eastwood, right?
No, that's Every Which Way But Loose.
Every Which Way But Loose.
And I think it might be the same orangutan.
It has to be.
This orangutan got a lot of business back then.
Well, he got his own credit as what was it? What was the guy's name?
He's in SAG.
Basoli's orangutan?
Or she's in SAG.
I was going to say, they call him Clyde. They call him Clyde.
Do they?
In Every Which Way But Loose is Clyde.
Well, girls can't drive, so it can't be a girl monkey.
He loves giving the finger, though, this monkey.
But girl monkeys can. And
Girl
you're offending him because it's an orangutan.
So girl monkeys can drive, but human women.
Well, yeah, but I think this is the same orangutan they've used in multiple movies.
Lots of anger from this orangutan.
Yeah, he's smacking people like.
Because the one part, I don't know if that other guy was the other guy with Tony Danza, an actor, or was that the animal trainer?
His cousin from North Carolina.
No, I think he is an actor. I don't know. I think
he got smacked so hard.
Okay, so before we even get to that point, so the uncle pulls up. He goes, yeah, my uncle. Oh, my uncle. So they're brothers, I guess, right? Or they're related.
Oh, when you know who the uncle is?
No. Who was he? He looks.
Oh, you ready for this? Goober Pyle.
There was
Gomer Pyle.
No, Goober.
What's Goober Pyle?
He was his cousin.
Well, Gomer's in this.
I know it is. That's what's funny.
Yeah,
that's what makes it even funnier. That
you know what? You're right. It is Goober,
and he looks the same.
Yeah.
I looked at him. I'm like, wow. Goober worked at the gas station in town.
Yeah. But I love Danza's line though when he sees the monkey. He goes, "Must be your side of the family."
Yeah. Well, okay, so you have an uncle here who doesn't know these two guys at all because he says he goes, he had to explain, I'm your uncle I'm your nephew from whatever, and so he's ready to. They're asking him for a car, and the uncle doesn't even know them.
Right.
And they don't even know the uncle really.
I love Tony Danza. I think his roles in show, he plays the same guy and everything, right?
How can you not?
But
I'm your cousin from Brooklyn.
Listen, he could have played Joey in Friends. It's Joey. He could have played Joey's father.
Oh yeah, why didn't they ever do that? Did Joey have a dad in that?
He did. He had what's his name? I think it's the guy from.
Welcome to Friends Talk.
Character actor.
Welcome to Friends.
You see, he was on Saved by the Bell. He was Leah Remini's father in Saved by the. No, was that? No, that was the. Never mind.
That was the guy from Friday Night Part 2.
Yeah, never mind. No, you've seen this guy before. So anyway, but yeah, so that monk, I love the monkey. I think he's hysterical. So.
Oh my god, yeah, but he's just so violent.
Yeah,
he really smacks that guy so hard. And I know obviously it's a different shot, but you almost think that there's camera set up because when he goes back to sit back with Tony in the back where the driving's happening, he's like, "Man, that monkey just." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" The monkey has the worst teeth ever.
The worst. Well, do you think monkeys brush their teeth?
I hope. Well, they need to. They need to start.
But yeah, you know what? I wonder, is that monkey in SAG? Because it doesn't really talk.
I would think so.
Okay, so
animals have to have a SAG. Him and
the trainer have the SAG or the monkey?
Well, the monkey should have it because that monkey, the monkey from Ace Ventura, there's like these
monkey trouble.
Certain monkeys that are in a multiple
Congo.
Movies. Yeah. No, but the monkey from Ace Ventura is in Contagion and like all the Friends. Like they're
Outbreak.
all the same monkeys, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they might not be the same monkey. They could be in a family. I mean, I don't know how many orangutans look like this one, though. This one looks like he looks like an old man orangutan.
I thought it was actually a person in a monkey costume at first, like a short person.
That's how good of an actor that orangutan is.
He was good. He was great. He was, between him and Jackie Chan. I mean, the fight scenes were.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I remember as a kid, though. I always look forward to the fight scene because there's a fight scene in the first movie too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So now we get Mary Lou Henner and Shirley McLean.
Bless my heart.
Which one do you like better?
I like the looks of Mary Lou, but the personality of Shirley.
Ooh.
Shirley's got that personality where you could just be like, I could just have a beer with her.
If your girlfriend listens to this, she's gonna be like, I gotta be more Shirley.
Is your girlfriend like 60?
No. She's
half that.
She's
Okay.
But no, they're sitting there as these nuns.
So no, they're not. Well, because they were like a Broadway show.
They're actors.
So
yeah.
they're actors acting.
You
as
know
nuns.
what?
You thought the whole time?
No, it's not that I thought they were nuns. When they said they were in the show, I never seen that show, so I didn't put two together. I thought they were just watching a show.
So you thought when they
The whole movie, I thought they were real nuns.
So when they came out in the shortest of shorts, and I think Shirley MacLaine wore her underwear when she came out.
That's when I was on to them.
Okay. Oh, that's when you went on to it.
No.
And I even thought that, because how about Well,
wait, so the whole conversation when they were at the diner, when they're talking to each other, how they want to go to New York or something like that, like you didn't realize
just to find a millionaire.
I just thought they were nuns that were like, I'm fed off with the nunnery. I just want to get out of here. And I just want to go to the Big Apple.
So when they walked down those clothes, that was your M. Night Shyamalan moment.
So when Mary Lou Henner is basically giving Dom a HJ,
she's probably never felt one.
In the front
Holy
seat.
cow!
I'm like, well, let's feel the warmth
Burt
up here.
Reynolds didn't care.
No, he was.
I mean, none or not, that's Burt Reynolds style.
Burt Reynolds in that scene, we'll talk about it now. When they come out in the outfits, he's like checking them out. He uses his cane to lift.
He knew. At that moment, he knew they weren't nuns.
Right.
But did he know before that?
I think he was skeptical.
I don't think it mattered.
But I don't think
because I wasn't.
No, but Burt Reynolds seems the type in his role as JJ. It really doesn't matter what. It could be a dead corpse. I think he would. It wouldn't make a difference.
Oh, jeez.
But as soon as they hear them talking about millions, they're like, yeah. And then that's when they go talk to him.
Because they mentioned during the conversation, like, I wish I could just find a guy.
Yeah.
So what made you think they were nuns?
Nuns can get fed up. It's like anybody working at a job. Some guy working at McDonald's can be like, I'm fed up at this place. I'm going to go to Burger King. They can do that. And nun can be like, you know what? I don't want this life anymore. I want to have a rich guy. I want to wear nice clothes and not a sheet every day.
All right.
Yeah, with the flappy things on the head. I don't even know what they.
Is that even a nun outfit, or is that just from the Flying Nun with?
No, I
Sally Field.
Nun.
Maybe back then, I guess.
Because there's wings.
A habit. It's called a habit.
A habit?
I think it's called a habit, and I think it's a real thing.
Oh,
for back in the day, though. I mean, they don't. First of all, when was the last time you saw a nun?
Sister Act.
No, I mean in real life. I mean,
it's right there on
is it really?
VHS.
You have it? Oh, nice.
And I have the sequel over on the wall.
The sequel's good too.
Not as good as the first one.
No,
Lauren Hill's in the second one.
Is she
but
really?
It's not as good as the first. Oh yeah, she's one of the kids.
Oh,
but I think I don't. I mean, I saw nuns a lot growing up. Let's walking around always like by the churches. You don't see nuns anymore.
Oh wait, you
think they're distinct?
Until you got to the word church, I thought you were talking about clowns like a few years ago walking around in woods. Just nuns are just walking around like zombies.
Oh my god.
What is wrong with
that? Could have been a good horror movie.
You just said you just saw nuns walking around.
I didn't say the woods.
No, but then I was waiting for what word you're going to use. The mall, the school.
No, usually nuns and church go hand in hand. Woods would make it a little weirder.
That would be scary. You see a nun just walking around the woods, or a nun at the bar.
I'm sure there's a lot of horror movies that have nuns come out of the woods.
So then we get to they find out about the race, and then we talked about before. How many cannonballers there are?
Well, did we get past the part where they confronted Sammy Davis Jr.?
Well, it's right here.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
we're here.
Okay,
go on.
Oh, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, so that's what it is.
So there's a. I mean, if you look at the lineup of cars at the end of the movie, and in the beginning, there's tons. There's a ton of. There's only like 5 important ones.
Yeah.
But the rest. But like I said, all the cars are race cars except for the 5, which makes no sense. So now, so think about it. Now we have a limo, a Cadillac, a tow truck. Like what? Like I don't understand.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, it doesn't make any sense that they have those cars. It's almost like watching this movie, like we talked about, I would love a new one with people that are big now and people of yesteryear, but like wacky races. It reminds me of that because these cars should not make it that far.
No.
But was it so? The whole time I was watching this, I was like, was it just me, or does this scream Rat Race to you guys?
Oh,
With
what's
Rowan
that's
Atkinson?
Mad
Rat
World.
Race is based on a Mad Men.
Oh,
world.
is that what that's?
It's
'cause
exactly.
I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, this is basically. I mean, they did do a new version of this, and it's called Rat Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Rat Race is not nothing to do with Cannonball Run. It's more Mad World was like the first movie
The
that
original?
had all these old school actors that are all in there, going after $1 million.
Mhm.
You know, where this is supposed to be a car race. You know, or because no one else is using anything except for the bad guys.
Right. Oh, so you can use any means in Mad World, like you can use helicopters
yeah.
and
Same thing with Rat
planes and
Race.
stuff.
Same thing.
Okay.
Right.
We watched that in Mr. Kafka's class 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah,
Rat
The
Race?
Big
yeah.
W. No,
Oh,
Mad
man,
Men.
it's a classic.
Yeah, old science teacher.
It was like 3 hours long.
That's a long movie. Yeah. Yeah.
So JJ, it's funny. The reason he doesn't want the nuns in the car is not to put them in harm's way or anything, just in case a hottie hitchhiker wants to get picked up and have sex.
But Dom DeLuise squashed that because he said God will be our co-pilot.
He does mention that
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah,
So yeah, but yes. So JJ's always thinking.
he is.
He's
And we
got,
talk.
he's got one thing on the mind.
Always.
And we mentioned already the whole interaction when Dean and Sammy see them two.
I laughed though because Sammy Davis Jr. said the same joke twice. Once at the end of the movie, once now. They asked him. He goes, "Money or I'll blow you away." He goes, "I'll take the money." He goes, "I'll take the money."
Yeah.
And they go, and then they explain what the race was. They're like, "What idiot would do something? Put the money up for this?" And sure enough, the Sheik walks
The
in.
Sheik walks in.
The falafel.
And they point guns at him, and then he makes the slave, his white
Oh,
slave.
later,
and said,
later.
No, this one. I thought.
I don't know if it's just no. Is
Oh,
it later when the
on,
mafia takes him over when Abe Fagoda and then?
Oh, he puts the gun.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, dude. No, that's a good scene.
Okay.
No, so then we have. Yeah, so Dean. Oh, how weird was it? This is what was weird for me because again, you guys watched it through the paying attention lens, and I didn't. But I thought they were nuns. So when Dean looks at her and says, "We're cops," and strip search both of you, and they walk past, and she smells Dean Martin
And whispers in his ear.
Oh, I don't know. We don't know what she said.
No, we don't know what she said.
And then
No,
he
yeah.
whispers it to Sammy.
Yeah, well, so understand, and he goes, "You're sick." Because understand something. They wore the costume of priests in the first one,
Yes.
and they used that to an advantage. So he said when he saw the nuns with JJ, he's like, "We've tried that one last time;
Yeah.
it didn't work." That's why he says, "Let me frisk you."
Yeah.
because he didn't, I don't think he would frisk. Like I think Dean has a little bit more class than JJ.
Does he?
You know, well, I would think. I mean, they're both very similar. They both want to get laid.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my gosh. And then this is like Dom is already Captain Chaos. He's ready to drive. And we see the monkey with Tony Danza. And then when they're doing the punch card thing, everybody does. Well, how do you choose who goes first? Because whoever goes first has an advantage. But how about Jackie Chan, the way he did his?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when he's on the hood of the car and he rolls
Rolling
off.
down
Yeah.
the hood, punches it, and then dives in the window, and then they just take off.
That was just a taste of what to come in Jackie Chan's career.
But he was, again, I remember loving him in the first movie because it was all action. Like he was the fight, like they had the fight in the first movie also, which I think is definitely less cheesy. I mean, this one, some of the fights are like things that happen are ridiculous. But Jackie Chan was awesome. In fact, I think the part in the first one where he does like a jumping split kick and then he rips his pants.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
And then the car has fire boosters and they're like flying all around. But my favorite thing of this movie that I want to talk to you about, because it had to be involved in another movie we did you ever think in your life you'd see a cartoon character come to life? Because the lady that is driving...
Oh!
She looks like Granny.
Yeah,
Oh, from the old Warner Brothers cartoons, right?
Yes.
With
Exactly.
Yes.
And she waves to the monkey flips her off. She crashes through a window. A guy's nice enough to help her. Oh, are you okay? She flips him off.
flips him off.
But you see that in so many movies, like the old lady flipping off someone, like, and it's always funny every time.
Oh, yeah.
But she was the lady from Tweety Bird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it was so uncanny. It was like they went for that.
Yeah.
They're like, here's what you should
easily.
wear. So then the next part is where, again, if somebody looked at my notes, they'd be like, dude, you didn't watch this movie. But I wrote, these nuns are horny, because this is when she's like rubbing Dom DeLuise.
Yeah.
But the thing that was weird was obviously,
Boy nun.
if you're not a nun, it's not like you have to be extremely horny. But it was just so weird that in the back, Shirley had more of like a conscience at this point because she was almost like not getting with Burt yet, or
I don't know. Mary Lou had one thing on the mind.
that's all she was thinking of. That's why I was like, man, she probably was like,
And she loved Dom DeLuise.
Yeah,
she
she loved
She definitely
him.
likes the fatty type. I mean,
Yeah,
she
likes the cushion.
Oh, 100%.
cushion for the
Smushing?
So Dom DeLuise, I'm assuming, is younger than Burt, so she went for the younger guy because she was younger.
Is he younger?
He's not. He
Yep.
looks younger. No.
I don't know. Bert's got that youthful energy that just comes off. Dom looks like he doesn't
Dom
take care of
DeLuise turns
himself
into
at
Captain
all.
Chaos and does a lot of energetic stuff.
He does.
I'd be curious about that. They're probably the same age.
Well, we can look it up.
All right.
And the cops in this movie are so terrible.
They're
The cops
dumb. They're so dumb.
are so they're so dumb. Like the one earlier that crashes because the girls are.
Oh, the
driving
one
it.
that they think they're going to catch these girls that are going like 200 miles an hour. Like, first of all, that scene, and we really went over it fast, but like the driving was awesome.
Oh yeah.
How fast they were going was ridiculous.
And they changed the sign to 155.
Yes.
Or they changed the color of the car.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
yeah. That was awesome.
And the way they
Yeah.
spun out,
Yeah.
so smooth.
Yeah.
Like,
Looking for a white
very cool.
Lamborghini, and
Yeah.
it's.
I wrote
actually
that.
red.
I wrote that one of the guys, and I'm trying to piece together where it was, but one of the guys in that scene were so burnt. He was wearing like shorts. He was like red. They were probably shooting that scene for hours, and he was like, "I forgot my sunscreen." They're like, "Sit there, you extra. Here's your $50." But no, that scene was pretty cool. And even the cop, he goes, "Hey, listen to this one. So if you take this angle, you can add 11 miles an hour."
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So now we're at meeting Dom, right?
Dom Dom is
Or
this
Don Don.
the helicopter?
No, his son.
Charles Nelson Riley.
Yeah, aren't we meeting? Isn't that? The scene?
Oh, I thought we did.
Who is Charles Nelson Riley's son? It's
No, we
the
haven't
one
met
that's
him.
with Abe Vigoda?
No. He doesn't have a son. I'm saying no. We never met because Telly Savalas walks in.
Right.
We didn't meet them.
Oh no,
Calls
no,
him
no.
Dum Dum.
Right. Dumb.
Yeah.
He goes, and then Charles Nelson Riley goes, "Is this business or pleasure?" And he takes the chair and smashes it. Like those three goons, like just the three of them together, all bald, and then the big guy in the back.
He does that later with the guy too. He hits the guy with the chair for like no reason.
No reason.
Yeah.
Well, it shows you how mean he is.
No, but this is the first time we see the Italian mafia gang use a mode of transportation when they somehow are able to rent a helicopter.
A helicopter.
Tell me that these guys don't rent from Acme.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally.
They're wily.
Coyote.
They're yeah.
wild. Like
Yeah.
everything backfires, and it literally looks like stuff that the Coyote would use on Roadrunner.
Yeah.
The helicopter
Every
with the
single
magnet.
thing.
Yeah.
The wire, everything.
Yep.
I love the magnet. That the fact that he's like, hey, this magnet can lift a Brinks truck, and they're like, oh, Brinks truck. And then I love Abe Vigoda says when he gets stuck and they're not able to lift, he goes, well, maybe it can only lift a Brinks truck. And they're like, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Tunnel.
So why can't it lift the car? Because he's got the stethoscope. The doctor has the
Oh,
stethoscope.
my gosh.
Is that why? Is that why the helicopter
No,
can't
because
lift the car up?
the helicopter wasn't that big. So to lift a heavy car with 3 people in it?
And then it goes into the tunnel.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought they were going to hit the top of the tunnel. We were going to just get like a sound effect or something.
Right, no.
It actually goes in the tunnel and then somehow crashes?
Yeah.
And then you see wheels like rolling out, and I love Abe Vigoda in this movie.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's such a he's an idiot. Like but he's like a baby. Like to Mo Green.
Right. If I knew it was going to be a test, I would have studied. I love. Yeah, Vigoda's the best.
And then we get the monkey I was talking about earlier, how like ridiculous this monkey is. Like how he's just abusing people.
Yeah.
And then boom, that's what I love about these movies. They go so fast, not in like the running time, but while you're watching like watching like 5 or 6 different movies. So it goes fast. And then right from there, we hard cut to Shirley McLean and Mary Lou wanting to be in the back seat by themselves.
And changing with the
And
silhouette.
changing, yeah, with this. Ooh.
Well, that's Burt Reynolds still thought she was a nun because they kept calling him Sister Betty and Sister whatever.
Yeah,
And he
right.
goes, the things I want to do with, yeah.
Oh, and then that's when Dom DeLuise like looking off and talking to God on his own.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm sorry about him. And then they get pulled over. And then this is
Gomer Pyle.
You see, Junior's dog had the mange.
Yeah.
Well, that mange cured up overnight. Darndest thing I ever saw.
Dude, the fact that they get pulled over by this guy, I'm sure he was an actor from back then.
He looks familiar,
but he was funny with them.
Yeah.
And then the fact that the truck is coming to drop him off there.
And he just meets his uncle in the middle of nowhere.
I'm sorry, you guys keep calling him Gomer Pyle. I think that's a lawsuit pending because his name's Homer Lyle. They call him Homer Lyle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It sounds so close that it took me like 2 times hearing it.
I love the line though that he says, we're transporting nuclear material to Connecticut, and he goes, why Connecticut? And Burt Reynolds goes, because they ran out.
Yes. And again, this is in the middle of nowhere. This is about the 4th car we've seen where there's basically only that car and cops.
Yeah.
There's no one else on the road.
No one.
There's no one.
They're in.
And you think about, okay, so if this is a race and they're getting pulled over, when you see cars like fly by that are part of the race, no, there's no one.
No one at all. Everybody's taking different roads.
Everybody's taking different routes to get there.
But yeah, so we get, and then JJ really plays it up that he's a general, like the guy finally believes him. He has Homer is going to drive the car, so then I guess they can get frisky in the back seat. I think that was the whole point of that.
I didn't understand why they needed him. Like, what was the point?
It was really just, and Mary Lou suggested it, and she was in the front seat. So what was she going to do?
But they squeezed 3 people in the front seat then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the point of that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just to get Homer, Lyle, and
I just think Burt Reynolds just didn't want to drive. So Dom DeLuise drives and Homer.
We passed the one line that Sammy Davis says to Burt and Dom, right? When he goes, "Oh, you must be General Patton," and then he looks at Dom DeLuise. He goes, "You must be General Admission."
Oh, yeah. But Dom DeLuise also goes to Sammy Davis Jr. and goes, "I've had it up to here."
Right. There's a lot of height jokes in this movie.
Yeah.
No, that was
in the first one too. They
made really?
Fun.
They go into it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
General Admission. You know what? I wrote that down too.
General Admission.
Yeah. So JJ, as a general, he has this cop convinced because his nephew, the cop's nephew, I think was
his nephew.
Homer Pyle. Yeah. So he goes to him. He goes, "Hey, and I want to let you in a little secret. There's these 2 communists following us, dressed like cops." And they're trying to take us out. And I love that within seconds, the guy's on the radio and he's like, there's 2 communists that are following a red, whatever car it was. It was like, kill on sight. I'm like, wow.
And once again, the only car on the road.
Yeah,
right.
And cops.
Yeah. And Sammy goes, I've been called a lot of things in my life, but never a communist. And then Dino goes, I'm not even a Democrat.
Yes.
But he was a Democrat.
Yes. I wrote that down.
And then again, the way this movie moves so quick, now cut back to the monkey fighting Tony Dan's in the back seat.
Smacking him with the bananas.
And this is the part that just the monkey's driving because Tony goes into the front.
Could we talk about Tony just chugging a Miller Lite while he's driving the car? And I'm just like, he's drinking and driving. Literally.
What was the point of the guy in the front?
No point.
There was absolutely no point.
The uncle said in the beginning, he said it's a gimmick. He drives it from the...
No, I get that because the monkey would be in the front.
Right.
But there was a point when the monkey was in the back seat with Tony while the guy was in the front wearing a stupid hat.
Right.
Yeah. So how is that a gimmick?
Yeah.
That's...
So why did it make sense why he was there?
And then Tony left him by himself and the guy's like, wait, so the monkey's driving this
Who's
car?
driving? And then they crash through and the old lady gets stuck in the middle and she goes, you boys staying for dinner?
Yes.
I made noodle soup.
I like that.
But see, the monkey can drive.
Right through a little trailer house.
All right.
God. And then the girls again, because their car broke down, they go to a guy that I think, because he's at the end of the movie, that they know. And this is when they mention threesome to him.
Yep.
Like, don't worry, we'll bring the car back.
He's just licking his lips the whole time. He's like,
And they even say, does it have a full tank of gas? Maybe they don't know how to pump their own gas because they ask for that and then that car breaks down.
So you think they just drive the car as far as it can go without gas? It's done. They get out and get a new car?
They throw it out like a new pair of socks.
They just don't know.
Well, they did win the last race. I don't know how much money that was. So, maybe they just have the money to burn.
I hope they have that money.
I don't know. They just go through so many cars in this movie just by offering themselves, offering the promise of themselves.
I don't like it. If they see a promise of a good car, they unzip the front of the shirt, and if it's like they're not, they lift it right back up.
Oh, I know.
The mechanic where he's like, I got a tool that can fix anything.
Yeah,
it looks good from here.
And then once he mentioned what's under the hood, then they
they got warm all of a sudden.
Right. Oh man.
And then we get. Bikers usually fight at bars, right? Why are they fighting at a fruit stand?
A fruit stand.
And
were they really bikers?
And the thing that the one biker says to Jackie kind of blew my mind.
Ching Chong Man?
Yeah. And he was of Asian. I don't know. He looked of Asian too.
He looked of Asian too?
I don't know.
I think that's more problematic than Ching Chong Man.
Well, I mean, yeah, he calls Jackie Ching Chong Man. And I'm like, oh,
and then Jackie makes short work of all of them.
Yeah,
and then the girl, the family that runs the stand is Asian.
Right.
But speaks perfect English.
Right.
Yeah.
Want to stay
Perfect
for
English.
dinner?
Yeah, and he wants to.
But Jaws
But yeah,
cock-blocked it.
yeah, Jaws was like, none of this. We got $1 million.
So
to
I wonder if, like, at this point, Jackie Chan didn't speak any English. Because he didn't speak in the first movie and doesn't speak in this movie either.
What was his name? High Tech? Was that his name?
They called him that, yeah.
He goes, now that's what I call high tech.
I didn't even know he had a name.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he called him High Tech or something. Yeah, you're right.
Interesting.
So we already mentioned about the outfit change at like the gas station.
Okay, so was Shirley McLean wearing just her underwear? She walked out with no no pants on.
I wasn't complaining.
Oh. I mean, you know. And Marilyn Renner came out. I mean, I like her.
I always like
from
Marilyn Renner.
Forget about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, Taxi was great.
What else was she in? I don't understand why. There's some people that just like fizzle out, but why was she not in anything?
She's a TV person, maybe? You know, just a lot of these people.
She even looked smoking hot years later when in The Man on the Moon, when they did that flashback scene.
She looked exactly the same.
Everyone else looked...
Yeah, but that was very
Christopher
cool.
Lloyd looked pretty good in that.
You know what? That was a great scene in that movie.
Yeah.
I've been reaching out to her about trying to get her. Yeah.
Well, maybe if she listens to this, Mary Lou, we love you in this movie.
I'll be tagging her.
So how about... That sounds like something that Dean Martin would say to the girls he meets. or Burt Reynolds. I'll be tagging her. So how about the True... Like, this movie probably had a pretty serious budget because of who's in it. But True Value paid a lot of money to be in this movie because that Arizona sign that they're hiding behind, Abe Vigoda and Mo Green, that was unbelievable. It said True Value a little, and then it said True Value welcomes you to Arizona.
Is this the flashing scene? Or no, is this something else?
No, this was when they used the metal wire.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the metal wire that didn't work because it just took the sign down and then broke their car.
But you heard that boing sound?
They are Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Absolutely.
I thought of it. Even the plane, the helicopter, when they were flying it, that looked like a cheesy helicopter you put together and then flew it.
Or like Natasha and Boris from like Rocky and Bullwinkle, like just looking to sabotage.
Yep.
And then right after this, hot chicks, like their car's broken. Joe Theismann picks them up. And we talked about that whole scene.
Of the Washington football team.
South River Zone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Theismann for Heisman. Fun fact, his last name's Theismann. He changed the way they say his name just to rhyme for Heisman.
Oh, man.
That sounds about right. He was good in the movie, though, for like not being an actor. For his little part.
I liked him.
He was all right.
He was good.
I want to see. I want to see the first one and how
He was a
Carrie
Southern
does
boy.
in
He
the
acted
first
like a
one.
Southern boy.
Listen, you know, it's easy to, in a movie like this, I don't think you really have to be a great actor.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
as we see with was it Don Knotts and Tim Conway later?
I love them. I love them. Those two together.
That's like legendary to see both of them together.
They're great together.
But before we get to that one,
sorry, I jumped. I jumped.
No, you're fine.
It's all right.
Dude.
It's all right.
So we have Jackie Chan and Jaws. They use the turbo one more time.
Yep.
So this scene to me makes no sense. So they're getting chased by cops. They go into a lake, goes to the bottom, and you're thinking something bad happened. Then they show them. They're fine, laughing. Jaws, he has such a cackling laugh in this movie.
Well, they make the clothes, like, it looks like they're drowned because they were chased by cops.
Right.
They look like their car went over and drowned, and they have a button to push it out close.
Trash. Yeah, there's beer cans in there. You're like, oh, he was drinking.
Yeah.
Right. And then oil
slick.
Like, so in case you're, in trouble, these buttons are very important to use. Like, it's set up already. That's why it's a James Bond car.
Right.
That's why I think it's taking place with the James Bond car from the first movie.
The same thing happened in Spy Who Loved Me. The car goes underwater and then it busts out fins on the side.
Right.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, well, this one had the windows go up. It looked something like it was metal windows.
Right.
And you couldn't see. And then, this
And
submarine.
then the periscope.
Yeah.
But what doesn't make sense? Does oil signify that maybe the car died, but does that mean the people are dead?
I don't know.
Because as soon as they saw the oil, they're like, sorry, people, we're just doing our job.
Right.
And, not for nothing. The car just went in the water. They didn't even try to save it.
No.
What would you do? Oh, I guess you
dive in there and try to get him out, maybe? So basically, to Doug, if you see a car go off, you're like, just I don't know what to do. Just forget it. I guess
Lost cause.
I might get my sneakers wet.
Wait, is that oil?
It's-
Oil, they're dead.
They're done.
Oil,
I mean,
sleep.
even if at least 10 minutes, you could still maybe save someone.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, at least try. Doug's not getting his sneakers
Nope.
wet.
No, they're good sneakers. I buy one pair a year, and I'm not ruining them for these like criminals that are doing this race across the country that
Well,
people
the
are
cops don't
done.
know that.
See, if there were two hot chicks, I'm sure the cops would have.
Well, if the hot chicks, I can throw
would've
my
jumped
shoes
in
off
got-
and I can do something.
But they
So
were
you
like,
can't
oh, wait,
throw your shoes off for
not for Jaws.
Jaws and Jackie.
Because then I'm obligated to do mouth to mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Jaws,
on Jaws.
mouth. Speaking of Jaws,
Jaws, you're not going to make it.
what a perfect transfer right here. Jaws, the next scene, like right in the same scene, Jaws
Same.
music.
Yep.
And I love that you get Sid Caesar, which
Oh.
the other guy, the third guy that was like in charge of the boat, he was a nobody.
There's
But the
another
other guy
yeah.
was
I know,
somebody.
I know.
Somebody, yeah.
Like old timer, and it's I mean, I wish Sid Caesar had a bigger role. I mean, it was like
It was
but,
such a small.
yeah, but it was pretty funny.
He might have been older at the. I know he was
He
in
was.
Vegas vacation. He was still in stuff, but I love the fact that the guy, he goes, "How big was it?" And the guy goes, "I took a picture of it. Picture weighed 14 pounds."
Yeah. So that was all improv.
But I love it. Then he get pulled, so it hooks the front of the
Right.
hood of the car. Then at that point, that's when
No, hits the boat or the fishing line.
The fishing line
Well,
hooks
the
in the
fishing
front of the
hook.
car.
Oh, okay, yeah.
hooks the hood.
Yeah, yep,
and then that's
yep,
when he
yep.
turns it to, because all those different modes. It was like full steam ahead.
Yep.
One was
Oh
like,
yeah, the thing came up like from Titanic,
Yes.
where it's like cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yep.
So yeah,
There's a lot inside a small. That is like one of the smallest cars in the race.
yeah, it was a
And there's
Mitsubishi.
a
I
lot
think.
going on in there.
yeah, there's a lot going on there. And then Mary Lou now is like, you know what? We want to bone you guys. Let's get Homer Pyle out of here. Homer Lyle.
Homer-
And Homer gets kicked out, but he does get the Congressional Medal.
Little-
But they leave him in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere. So they basically killed him.
But he was happy about it because he goes, I served my 20 years and I knew one day I would have a job in the military that would be so important.
Well, that was payback for
That was a good
for
impression.
Dum
That was a good Homer.
That was a good, really good.
Wait, was Homer just on the podcast?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was me.
People sure are odd.
All right.
Was that as good as Rocky?
No, Rocky was up there.
Ew.
But no, that's the medal that Dom DeLuise took from Burt Reynolds because he said you can have any
Yeah.
medal,
Yeah.
and he had these all these small medals, and he goes, "All right, I'll take that one."
Take the
and
one
like
around
the
your
face
neck.
that Burt Reynolds made.
Was
So I
like-
think it was just a little payback.
Yeah.
Damn, I like that medal.
And here's another line that makes it seem like I didn't notice that they were actresses. It says, Mary Lou has too much style for a nun.
Oh.
What's their deal?
Well, she made a comment. Oh, nice pink. Was it purple? Purple bag she had, right? Wasn't it? Like,
Oh yeah,
And, and she goes, "Oh, it's for Lent."
Yeah, for
Oh,
Lent.
yeah.
What does that mean?
A Lent bag.
But is purple for Lent? I mean,
You know
I
what?
grew up Catholic. I don't know anything about Lent.
I was fooled by that. I was like, she knows she's a nun.
Yeah.
She's got style.
That's it. She's an actress.
And then now Abe and Mo Green, they rent a plane.
Somehow survived the helicopter
Yes.
tunnel crash.
Okay.
No
First of all-
scratches.
No
First of all,
scratches,
how
no.
are they catching up every single time? And without tracking, how are they knowing exactly where they are? And he's flying two planes. I don't think it's that easy to fly a plane the first time,
Helicopter, plane, there's different buttons, right?
Easily.
Nick mentioned it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That-
But Acme has it all. So you can,
But they do make fun of that in the scene. He goes, how are we going to land it? He goes, come on, just hit this button here. Read the instructions. And then it works. And he goes, it's that easy.
Well, this one is like flying in the mountains.
Yeah, and they're bouncing a
Yeah.
ton.
Okay, but the fact that it looked like they were in the middle of mountains when they first started flying, and then he controlled it.
Yeah.
There's a clear shot though where you can see that it's not either one of
Oh,
them
yeah.
in the cockpit. Where you're like, there's the stunt driver. There's the stunt driver.
There's so many stunt drivers you see in this
Yeah.
movie. Once the cars go by, it's ridiculous.
Well, there was a dummy when they ran in the old lady. The old lady was definitely not in the car from the thing. It was a dummy that got picked up. So now their plan is to hitchhike. And at first I thought it was them because Mo Green had his girlfriend in the back of the plane. But she flashes. We didn't see that.
You do.
I wish we saw it.
No, you
we
do.
don't see
you
it.
do.
Boobs.
She has pasties on.
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, they're cones. Yeah.
No,
No, they're
red-
just red.
little
They're
cones.
red
No,
pasties.
no, they're
Pasties.
stars. They're like stars or something, right? Or something. I thought.
Something.
I think they're little
Yeah.
cones.
But you
No,
get a
no
good
cones.
glimpse, and I'm like, this is a PG movie. And they say some shit. They say
yeah,
words.
sure.
This is tame for PG.
Yeah,
This is-
PG in the
back
80s.
then,
That's
forget
true.
about it. Clash of
boobs.
the Titans had boobs.
That is true. That first scene,
First
right,
scene,
with the baby.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they should have thought of this right away. Boobs always win.
Yeah, and then they stopped him, and then this is the scene you were talking about when they put the gun to his head. He goes,
I am the great Prince Abdel Ben Falafel, master of all deserts, prince of princes, and one of the world's biggest yo-yos. How dare you put a gun to my head? As I was saying, do you come here often?
I think he was one of the producers or something.
Who, the slave?
Yeah.
I don't recognize him, but I'm sure he had it because he had a big
The
role.
slapper.
He had to be something.
1,000 thanks.
Yeah.
1,000.
2,000 thanks.
Yeah.
So now we get this is where I wrote, wait, so they're not nuns?
Oh.
So then this is when I finally realized it. But Don Knotts and Tim Conway pulling over the car, just them together is funny. But what made it even funnier was they're like, oh man, we're on candid camera.
Yeah, you know who's behind that glass?
And the monkey kicks the crap out.
Yeah, that's what I
he
mean.
smacks
Like
the
this
shit.
monkey is violent.
And then dancing and keep getting smacked and get right back up and it's his hat wasn't his head to his hat at one point?
Yeah. Tim Conway's
Does that
head.
happen? Like you see it in movies all the time, but like
Those are cheap hats.
had to be very cheap hats.
But I love it after they get knocked down, they go,
This is working great. Let's go sing. Come on. Before they go. Come on, come on. By the light of the silvery moon.
Then the monkey flips him off.
They're great.
and-
If you like them, there's a movie. I think I told you a long time ago. I think they played two detectives. It's like it's like a murder mystery.
oh, with
Ooh.
both of them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
I love
great.
that.
Yeah, what it's called. It's hysterical. I remember watching it as a kid.
I never knew they worked together because that's why when I saw them, I'm like,
Yes.
it's
No.
like
I'll
iconic.
send you.
Yeah.
I'll send you the trailer if
Okay.
I remember it.
Yeah, their scene was way too short, but I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like that was a
No.
lot of this movie was just like different little like vignettes.
Well, it is. It's
within-
showing you different cameos here and
Yeah.
there. You know.
So then right from here, all these people aren't connected. There's no cell phones. How do they all know instantaneously that the Sheik was robbed? Because JJ is driving, everybody's waiting in the middle of this highway,
Yep.
waiting for them. How do they know?
They're good.
They're that good?
They're that
It
good.
seemed like Sammy Davis and Dean Martin are the ones that told them. They probably just didn't have to cut
But
them.
how about the fact that, again, we're seeing these cars race this whole time. You don't see any cars nearby. How are they all caught up together? I mean, how long were they waiting? Like, come on.
That is true.
How much more long are we going to wait until we, and how do they know that they're not ahead of them?
That is true. How do they not know that?
They could be
Yeah,
waiting
it's-
for like 2 days. Like, listen, we're waiting for JJ. I don't know where,
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think like they'd all have trackers on their cars that you could see like
1980.
that is
Something.
yeah,
And
yeah.
JJ was in first, I would think, because they never stopped. The
They stopped. The nuns changed.
for the nuns.
Oh,
yeah.
it changed, but a little bit.
Okay,
but
women,
not car breaking
women
down.
take a long time to change.
Oh.
They put on their makeup there. Don't forget they wanted to impress them, so they were stopped for a while.
Wow. No women driving.
I didn't say no women. Women orangutans.
So then they find out the whole plot, and then they're trying to figure out, like, JJ goes, who else knew about this? And they look at Dean and Sammy, and they find out, oh, they must have told the guys in Vegas, because that's who did it. And then the rest of the movie from here is just so cool. The fact that they go to, you like guess, because I saw him in the trip.
The king. They go to
the king. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're going to see royalty. And you see the look, and you're like, this isn't the White House, but it's sort of like the White House. Is this the president? No, it's Frank Sinatra.
Playing himself.
I love that.
as himself. Yeah.
Great. And I love the line he goes to Burt Reynolds. He goes, Burt Reynolds goes, what can I call you? He goes, you can call me Frank. Not yet. I'll tell you when.
I love that.
For now,
Like so arrogant, like he was like he knows he's the king. Like
for now, it's sir.
Yeah. And then who taught the FBI? And they're like,
But you could tell all Frank's scenes were filmed by himself.
Oh yeah.
Like
Because you don't see them together.
right.
When you see the background of just his head, it's almost like Seinfeld and Steinbrenner.
Yes.
That's what it looked like.
But his reactions sometimes don't match
Yeah.
up to the things that are being
Yeah.
said to him. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
Frank's, what's not to love about
No,
Frank Sinatra?
that was awesome.
Hey, guys, I'll give you 10 hours. That's it. No more, no less.
He's great.
But yeah, and he calls Don for a favor. That's his little favor. And now, why did they have to dress up like Arab girls?
Well, 'cause
the
all
belly
Arab girls
dancers?
there. They
Right.
had to save the sheik, so they're all Arab girls there.
Oh, so they were doing that to get picked,
to get
hired, and then thrown into. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right, but that's when what's his name? Telly Savalas is like, who hired these three bow wows?
Right.
And the singing. I remember as a kid, I was laughing at that scene because Sammy Davis Jr. looks so small because Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds are two big guys.
Massive.
And you have Sammy Davis Jr. in the middle of them. I think one of them hip checks him off stage.
Yeah, Dom. And then Alex Rocco goes, "I ain't no singer, but even I could follow that act."
Yeah. And even I love Telly Savalas in that line too. When he comes in and he looks at him, he's like, "You're gonna hire these girls?" He's like, he grabs Dom DeLuise's hand and he's like, "You ever hear a Nair?" And they're like, "We're working on it."
There's a great thing. I don't know if you guys caught it, but during the audition, Dean's smoking a cigarette and he's like really nervous. He's like, "Oh, they're going to be found out." And at one point he drops the cigarette and it lands perfectly in the shot glass.
Yes.
And I said, I wonder if that was my mistake, because he looked surprised. He looked down and he was like, "Oh, it landed in the shot glass." I thought that was fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, that was brilliant.
And Charles Nelson, because obviously he had a call from Sinatra, he's like, "Ladies, you're hired."
Lifetime contracts for you guys.
Lifetime. But the face they're all making when they see them up there, how ugly they look and how awkward. Like they're all from Dean Martin to Charles Nelson Riley to it's like they're like hideous. Like,
Seeing Dom DeLuise do the hip thrust in that belly dancer, I will never leave my mind.
That was very funny. That's
And Telly is a great villain. Like,
yeah, he's
he
fantastic.
should have done it more.
You know
in
what?
his
It's
career.
his voice. His voice is
The
so
Kojak.
intimidating.
It's
It's
the
just
Kojak.
so intimidating.
Hey,
It's-
baby.
Yeah.
How about his line when he says a joke and he goes, "Guys, laugh. That was funny."
That was funny.
But then he made a face because it wasn't that like they were laughing too hard or something like that.
And then he talks about the hormones with Sammy Davis Jr. and he goes, "I think they're overprescribed."
He had a comeback for each one of them, which was very funny.
He was
good, man. And then they break out, and then they get sent too, because when they get hired, they go to Falafel. They break him out, which, not for nothing, that guy probably doesn't think he's being kidnapped.
No, he's got women fanning him. He's tied up, and then
his feet
then
getting tickled.
and then Dean Martin had a great. He points up. There's a girl on a swing.
Yeah,
and he goes, "Can I take that with me?" I think he's talking about the girl and the swing, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, fantastic.
And the Sheik said there was something. I think when he said that, the Sheik says, "There's only so much water in the fountain."
Yeah, that was. Ladies, there's only so much water in the fountain.
And then I love that when they get surrounded, so all of them are surrounded, they're found out, and Telly Savalas and his guys are surrounding them. And the fact that I love when he asks them for all their last meals.
Yep.
Hey, did you see that picture where the bad guys get the last request?
Yeah,
Sure. On the Late Show. It's really a good movie.
A last meal, perhaps you could lay a little barbecue on us. You know, something that you would go over the coals with.
I'll have some quiche and a little chocolate mousse.
Shish kebab. Couscous.
Friggin' chickasee? Chicken fricassee. And you?
I'd like a wine list.
Or any last request?
Before that, he goes, before that, your money or your life.
My money or your life?
Money. He's got the money.
He's got the money.
And that's when they pass the money around and the thing. And
Sammy asks for some barbecue. He's like, "Can I get a little barbecue?"
Yeah.
And then Dom, fricassee chicken.
You go
chicken fricassee.
Burt Reynolds says quiche.
Right.
He likes quiche.
Come on. Last meal, you're going to do quiche?
What do you think? What would be your last meal?
Sushi buffet, all you can eat.
Whoa.
All you can eat.
Really?
I'm taking my time.
And then Dean.
Jamie, we're supposed to execute you 7 hours ago. I'm still eating.
All you can eat.
Rodizio, you have the green light still up on the Rodizio, the green side. You're like,
And then Dino asked for a wine list because classy as hell.
Unbelievable.
Again, another great line when Dean's drinking milk in the beginning of the movie, and Sammy goes, "Aren't you afraid that it's going to curdle once it hits your liver?" And then Dean goes, "My liver died years ago." I love that. I love that line. I thought it was so funny.
And again, it's probably all ad lib because these guys are so used to each other that it's.
And then right from here, all the cannonballers that they were with before showed up just in time.
You hear the cavalry music.
Yeah.
Like, they're on their way.
The fight scene.
And again, like I said, they had it in the first movie. So like, I guess you knew this was coming. Because it's the first one. It's just same thing. You see individual fights. This one, you see individual fights. You hear Tony Danza says, "Oh, it reminds me of Brooklyn."
Yeah. And that guy takes a really crazy fall down those stairs. His brother or his cousin.
Oh, with the monkey?
Yeah. Well, he gets thrown out, and then the monkey goes up. It's like, I'll take care of business.
Tony Dan goes, looks like a real tough guy. Maybe I should go up there. And the monkey puts his hand out, stops Tony Danza, and he walks up there. He waddles up there.
Smacks. Oh, wait, no. He waddles up there, but they put it in fast forward so it'd be faster.
Yeah, faster. And then he just does one of his smacks, and the guy rolls right down. So the other guy couldn't handle him. The monkey does one hit and just knocks him down.
Oh, and then Captain Chaos throwing people through windows.
Captain Chaos was doing a lot of damage.
There's one little thing where he throws the guy through the window, and then he busts through the door, and a piece of the wood lands on the guy's face, and you could tell that guy was like, "Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move."
Yep. And then you have Theismann also.
Yeah. Oh, he was kicking ass. That's what I mean. He was cool in this movie.
Well, Burt Reynolds goes, "You look like you're some kind of athlete or something." He goes, "Well, yeah, I played a little," and then he got tackled.
Oh
no, the scene's always classic. Just everybody getting beat up.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of like Anchorman, like the scene of Anchorman, where everyone's
100%.
fighting each other, like different individual
battles. And then Jackie
battles.
Chan really is the only one that can fight. So he's out there, And I think, again, I think that's the first time you really introduced the Jackie in the first movie. But I think the first fight doesn't have some of the silly, like, two of the guys got thrown. Like, Telly Savalas got thrown. Ridiculous.
Well, oh, yeah.
So, the one guy gets thrown.
And Jaws throws the other one.
Yeah, and he's like swimming down the hall. And then, again, another throwback to James Bond. When Terry Savalas gets thrown, that's the same motion that the bad guy at Moonraker, when he gets sucked out of the airlock thing, he does the spin.
Yeah, you're right.
Except in that movie, you don't see the wires holding up the actor as he's flying.
Jaws might be in the first movie. I'm not sure. I'm not
sure.
In
Cannonball Run.
Yeah, I'm not
One?
sure. He might be.
Yeah, you're a real Bond expert. We really have to find a Bond movie.
I love James Bond. Right. The way that Chris Egan is a horror expert and Andrew is the action expert.
So
I
you
like
really
James
graduated. Bond. I mean, you did 2 Munchies, you did your time, and now you're going from Cannonball Run to James Bond.
Well, is Dom DeLuise or any connection between a Munchie and a James Bond? We have to find that connection.
Oof, that's gonna be. I think Gage played a bad guy in one of the James Bond.
So then we have Charles. Is Charles Nelson Riley trying to get with Sammy?
No, because he owes him money, so he's looking at all the expensive jewelry that Sammy Davis Jr. is wearing.
Yeah, but it looks like he's flirting with him.
No, he's excited. I think he's flirting with the money.
Oh, okay.
But what kind of gun is that? It looked like one of those small
like
water pistols that they're tiny. It was a tiny gun. Like, can that do that much damage?
It's like one of those ones you get from like the 25-cent machines back in the day.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if as a real gun, that's small. Can it do that much damage?
Not
Maybe
really.
Ow.
Yeah, like bounce off.
Like a mosquito bite.
Yeah. But he hands the gun to Sammy, and then Sammy turns the tables.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then you find out the Sheik became partners.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Charles Nelson Riley.
Why wouldn't he? He was being pampered there by 6 women.
That's true.
And apparently he's got tons of money because he gave him $9 million to pay off Telly Savalas, and then gave him another 9 for petty cash, or what did he say?
Yeah. So, spending change.
Yeah.
It's a drop in the well, he says.
Yeah. And then he raised the price of the race to $2 million.
To $2 million.
So this is the only part where you actually see a race, I think.
But do you?
Well,
because we just all watched this together because I just finished the movie.
You saw the lines, and it showed there was a race.
It was a
5-minute ending. And
the map was weird. You would think if it was like a cross country, it would be like from west to east, but it's from north to south.
Well, they were going all over the place. It looked like a child trying to trace for the first time, and it was going over the rocks, under the rocks, So yeah, so this is the race, and then you find out when you see a fast car pull up that the race was done 5 hours ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So the guy in the fast car was 5 hours late.
He says, "Hey, buddy, go in the bar and have some drinks because you're 5 hours late,
and you get ready for your racing tomorrow.
You're 5 hours
You're racing back tomorrow."
So they were setting up for Cannonball 3, but never happened.
I guess because
what was the trailer that you sent me with John Candy? Did that happen?
So there is another movie, Speed something I sent you
Speed Zone. Yeah, that's a third one.
So it's technically a third one. Jamie Farr plays a Sheik in that one. I never saw it.
So it is a sequel.
There's now one person but Jamie Farr.
But it still counts.
And it supposedly it bombed.
We covered some very loosely based sequels. But John Candy, Eugene Levy?
Well,
might have to add it to the list.
Some of the reviews for this movie.
But I heard it's supposed to bomb.
Yeah.
Very bad. But it has a lot of big names in there. I mean, a lot of SCTV people.
Yeah,
cool. So, we might have to find someone for that one.
But yeah.
But so the father's disappointed in the Sheik again.
Yeah.
And he says, listen, And the father said, "You have one last chance." First of all, I don't know why the father cares about winning. He's got tons of money apparently, so why does he care about?
And they live in America. I thought they were.
No, they live in because they always play the chic music every time.
I know.
There.
Oh, you can only play chic music in.
I don't play any chic music. But I'm just saying, every time you see Jamie Farr, they play the chic music.
His dad should have been the Iron Sheik.
That would have been great.
Yeah, he should have been the
He
Iron
probably
Sheik.
was just getting big at this point. 84?
Yeah, mid-80s.
WrestleMania started 85?
That would have been cool.
That would have been really funny.
But I don't know why the father cares so much. It's only a race. Like, why does he care so much?
Because he wants to preserve the falafel name because they're the fastest. Remember in the beginning?
Well, he said in the beginning, we are the fastest
camels,
cars, and planes, except for your car. He says, because you lost. So he says, he goes, Father, he goes, we're going to win this one. I hired the winner of this year's race to be my co-pilot.
Surprise.
And surprise, it's the monkey who gives the father a kiss. Now,
so that was the winner. So Tony didn't win.
Does that mean Tony Danza and the other guy sat in the front outside of the car the whole time and the monkey drove?
He drove the car.
So the monkey won $1 million. That's
so the monkey's a bully. I mean,
he is a bully.
He's a bully.
So, yeah.
He's abusive.
He likes to give fingers to people. The finger to people.
So, yeah.
But the blooper reel was great at the end, though. The blooper reel was fantastic.
Well, they I think they're like one of the first movies to start doing that because they did in the first movie also.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then some other movies started following suit. I think Naked Gun. I know. Did Naked Gun do that? No.
I don't know.
No, but I mean, so they did it in the first movie and they do the second one. So it's great. You
it.
really should watch it.
It's
like
fantastic.
it's great.
I'll finish it.
Yeah, the blooper reel is great.
I'll finish the.
Because there's a part in the beginning when Burt Reynolds is shoving hay in Dom DeLuise's face, and you do multiple takes.
Oh.
Dom DeLuise is like, no, don't take it over here where no one's going. Like, take that piece, and then as he's like spitting it out, he's like, I don't know how animals eat this shit. Like,
it's like I don't think anyone pissed on this one.
Yeah. There's a lot of funny scenes. And then when the monkey kisses Montalban, he goes, now if your mother kissed like that. Like there's
something married.
Oh my God.
There's like a lot of fun. There's a funny ad lib stuff. You got to see it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So that was Cannonball Run 2. Go to our guest first, who this has got to be like a walk in the park compared to Munchie and Munchie Strikes Back. Would you recommend this?
This was a cool breeze on a beautiful spring day compared to Munchie. I would definitely recommend this movie. It was a lot of fun. It was wild, wacky. It was, I mean, cameos are great. I would definitely recommend this movie. And I'm going to go and actually watch the original because
look at this.
That's awesome.
You just made Cannonball. You just made the estate of all these actors because none of them are alive.
Yeah.
For the most part, they just made a few bucks.
Yeah, they're great.
Or pennies, probably.
Yeah, well, you know my answer. I mean, I think you nailed it with it is a fun movie. It's a fun movie. It's is it a cheesy movie? It is. But just the fact that all these actors were willing to take a movie like this. I mean, I think if they made a movie like this today, it would be awesome. But can they take the pay cut so they can make the movie?
Yeah,
and I don't know if they would do that. But imagine like The Rock in there with Stallone, even throw Arnold in there. You throw in Liam Neeson, you throw in you just throw in all these people. I think it'd be awesome. I think people would go see it. And, but yeah, without a doubt, even if you didn't see the first one, you can enjoy this one.
Oh yeah.
But once you see the first one, you'll see it's the same thing, but it's same exact. It's awesome. They're both great.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think the critics got it though, because it only got like a 13 or something on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's like
comedies never do well for the most part.
We're not making The Godfather here. We're not making
we're making Don the Godfather.
If you read a lot of reviews, a lot of people said like, oh, it's so cheesy, it's not good. The first one's great, but you know what though? Again, you got to look at it's a fun movie where they all look like they're having fun.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they all look like. I mean, the scenes with Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. They all look like they're having a great time.
They're just
riffing on each other.
Yeah, riffing.
That's what the whole point is. So if you're going to look too deep in it as a cheesy movie, then you're missing the point of having all these actors in one movie,
right?
Having fun.
Yeah.
So yeah,
totally agree.
Screw them.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with both of you guys. I think it was a lot of fun. I loved it. And Jamie, I hope you enjoyed it because after this, strap in your seatbelt. We have our third annual Scary Sequel Month. Ooh. And we started off, as you guys know, we've done it every year. We do a review on the Thursday, and then the interviews are on Monday, so it's action-packed. And we start off with 2 interviews for this episode. We're doing Hellraiser Inferno. Rachel Kearns, who was on a bunch growing up as a kid actress. She was on a bunch of Disney shows. She plays Little Girl in the Rain in Hellraiser, but she had some cool memories from set. So that'll be an interview. That'll be next. And then also Patricia Cara, who plays a freaking Cenobite in this movie. We talked about Deal or No Deal and just so much more. She really
still
cool.
looks great, by the way.
Oh, she was so cool. I love talking to her. She was so cool because during it was like we were having issues on the Zoom and she was like so calm and we had a great chat. So yeah, so prepare for Halloween because this month we have a lot of epic interviews. 3 out of 4 movies maybe two of the movies I definitely know that I like.
I'm not sure if I've seen any of them.
Oh, Halloween 4 is great.
Never seen it.
Ooh.
I said I haven't seen any of these movies. I was never a Halloween fan, so I've only seen really the new one and the one Mike Myers drives.
Well, he might drive in this one too.
Okay.
But yeah, so don't forget to review, rate, share our podcast, follow us on all social media at Sequels Only, and don't forget to check out our website, sequelsonly.com. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.